There's a guy who wakes up at 5:30 every Sunday morning, not to ride, not to meet up with his crew, but to detail his motorcycle. He's not doing it because it's dirty. It rained 3 days ago and he already cleaned it then. He does it because something about that machine being anything less than perfect makes him feel genuinely uneasy. And if you look at that bike, it doesn't look like a motorcycle that gets ridden. The chrome catches light like a mirror. The engine fins are spotless. There isn't a single water spot on the tank. You'd swear it just rolled off the showroom floor. And you find yourself wondering, how? Is this person more disciplined than everyone else? Do they actually enjoy cleaning the bike more than riding it? Are they just a little obsessive? But psychologists think something far more interesting is happening. Your brain does not separate your outer environment from your inner state as cleanly as you might think. There is a concept in environmental psychology called behavioral congruence, the idea that we unconsciously align our actions with the condition of our surroundings. A motorcycle is not just a machine. For most riders, it is one of the most personal objects they own. It is tied to freedom, to identity, to how they see themselves in the world. So when that machine is dirty and neglected, the brain registers it as a signal, not just about the bike, about the rider. And when that machine is immaculate, it sends a completely different signal, one that says, I take care of what matters to me, I follow through, I have standards. Princeton University researchers found that physical disorder in your immediate environment competes for your attention even when you're not consciously thinking about it. Every unwiped surface, every layer of road grime, your brain registers it as unfinished business, and unfinished business is mentally expensive. Does your mood shift when your bike looks beat up versus when it is clean? Research published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin confirmed that people who described their personal spaces as cluttered show measurably higher cortisol levels throughout the day. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, elevated not because of a hard ride, but because of the state of their environment. Flip that around. A clean bike does not just look good, it actively lowers your stress response every time you look at it. Here's what most people miss. People who keep their motorcycles spotless are almost never doing it because they love cleaning. Let's be honest, nobody fantasizes about scrubbing brake dust off calipers on a Sunday morning. They do it because they figured out, consciously or not, that taking care of their machine is one of the most reliable ways to maintain a sense of control over their own life. Think about everything a rider cannot control: road conditions, other drivers, weather, mechanical failures. Riding has inherent risk baked into it, and for many people that unpredictability creates a background anxiety that never fully disappears. But the condition of their bike? That they control completely. In psychology, this connects to the internal locus of control, the belief that your actions genuinely influence your outcomes. People with a strong internal locus experience less anxiety and greater resilience. And wiping down your bike after every ride, catching the small stuff before it compounds, these are not just maintenance habits, they're daily acts of agency, of saying, I'm in charge here. Now, I want to get to what I believe is the real key to this behavior, and it comes down to one word: identity. People who keep their motorcycles spotless are not forcing themselves every single time. They do it because through repeated action and consistent results, they stopped being someone who owns a motorcycle and became someone who takes care of their motorcycle. That shift changes everything. Behavioral psychology is clear. We act in alignment with who we believe we are. If you believe you are a rider who deals with problems when they get bad enough, who will clean it next weekend, that belief will play out every time. But identity is not fixed. Identity is built through evidence, and evidence comes from your actions. Every time you spend 15 minutes wiping down the bike after a ride, you build the identity of someone who respects their machine. Do that consistently, and your brain has no choice but to update its picture of who you are. Repeated small actions shape self-concept, and once a behavior becomes part of your identity, it stops feeling like effort. It becomes what you do. Here's something I want you to stop believing right now. People who keep their motorcycles spotless are not more disciplined than you. That is entirely the wrong frame. You are not watching willpower in action when you see an immaculate machine in someone's garage. You are watching a system. You are watching automation. Discipline is a limited resource. You burn through it. Automation doesn't work that way. A 2009 study in the European Journal of Social Psychology found it takes an average of 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic, to shift from something you consciously choose to something your brain simply does on its own. The goal is not to force yourself to clean every single time forever. The goal is to do it long enough that it stops being something you force. That's the transition. Make it, and the habit sustains itself. A spotless motorcycle changes the ride itself. When you roll out of the garage on a machine that looks and feels perfect, something shifts in your posture, in your confidence, in how deliberate your movements are. Riders consistently report riding more precisely and attentively when the bike beneath them is clean and maintained. That is not vanity. A clean environment signals to your nervous system, everything here is handled. You are prepared. You can perform. There is a deeply practical layer too. Riders who clean regularly catch problems early. A small oil seep, a loose bolt, uneven tire wear, a brake pad that is almost gone. The act of cleaning is an inspection. The most expensive repairs in motorcycling are almost always the ones that were ignored until they became unavoidable. The clean rider sees them first, every single time. So how do you actually build this? First, shrink the start. Do not wait until the bike is filthy. A 5-minute wipe down after a ride requires almost no effort. Waiting 3 months creates a job you will keep postponing. Catch it small and maintenance becomes effortless. Second, habit stack. You already gear down after every ride. That transition is your trigger. Chain lube goes on before you go inside. Quick wipe happens while the engine cools. Stack it onto what you already do. Third, make it yours. Put on music. Make it 30 minutes of quiet focus, just you and the machine. Riders who never skip this have stopped treating it as maintenance and started treating it as ritual. Your motorcycle is a physical expression of your standards. It reflects what you believe you deserve. The rider who keeps their machine spotless sends themselves a message every single day. This matters to me. I matter, and I follow through on the things I care about. Most people have never consciously thought about that, but it is operating on them all the time. People who keep their bikes spotless have not found some discipline gene. They have simply decided that their machine reflects who they are, and they like what they see when they look at it. Here's what I want you to do for the next 7 days. After every single ride, spend 10 minutes on your bike before you go inside. Wipe it down, check the basics, put it away right. Do that for 7 days. Then tell me it hasn't changed how you feel when you walk into your garage in the morning. Tell me it hasn't made you more connected to the machine, more attentive on the road, more like the kind of rider you actually want to be. Because that's what this is really about. Not a clean bike. It's about becoming the kind of person who shows up for the things that matter to them. Do you keep your motorcycle clean, or is it something you always mean to get to? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know where you are with it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.